This is One on One. Welcome to One on One. I'm Steve Adubato. We're coming to you from the NJTV studios in beautiful Newark, New Jersey. It is our pleasure to introduce Joe Della Fave, who is the executive director, and Maria Lopez-Nunez, who is deputy director, organizing and advocacy for a great organization celebrating its 50th anniversary right here in the city of Newark, Ironbound Community Corporation. Congratulations, folks.
Thank you very much, Steve.
ICC, your organization, does what, Joe? We've been doing all kinds of things together as nonprofits, but describe it.
Well, we do essentially two big things. One, we provide direct services to people, early childhood education, family services, job training, et cetera. But we also learned a long time ago that high-quality services that impact individual lives is great, but we also need to address the largest systems that people are living, growing, playing, and working and praying in, the community itself, and the systems, the overall systems that address them. So that's where things come in, like, is your housing affordable? Do you have healthy foods to eat? Is your air clean to breathe, or is it triggering asthma?
Or water issues.
Water issues, obviously, clean water. These are the types of things that people need to grow well.
Maria, let's talk about the urban garden piece of this. This urban gardening piece. Tell me, is it called Down Bottom Farms?
Yes, Down Bottom Farms. I know a lot of people remember Down Neck, another name for the Ironbound.
For those of you not born and raised in Newark, like some of us, we're very fortunate. It always called the Ironbound Down Neck. Go ahead.
And now it's evolved to Down Bottom, so the kids make sure to keep us relevant. So Down Bottom Farms is where we plant the future, right? Because the Ironbound, for those of you that don't know, is the industrial section of Newark. We have the state's largest garbage incinerator. We have a sewage waste treatment plant. And the Passaic River is the longest Superfund site in the country. So, facing all of that, we needed to create something where our community can come together and grow the visions of the future, of a future away from fossil fuels, a future where people are connected to the foods that they eat. And so in the process, we also got this wonderful grant from TD to be able to nurture the farmers of tomorrow, right? So there's Aero Farms, which a lot of people know
Aero
of.
Farm, by the way, check out our website. Aero Farms is an interesting organization. They're one of a kind in the country. Check them out. But go ahead. What does that have to do with Aero Farms? Go ahead.
Aero Farms brought into Ironbound by a collaboration between Ron Bate, RBH, and Ironbound Community Corporation to that site for a low carbon footprint and local jobs.
Yeah.
Aero Farms is fascinating. Check it out. But talk about jobs here. How does this connect to creating jobs?
Well, actually, Aero Farms, our farmers market, when we were first starting up at Down Bottom Farms, we ran a job training program for about 20 young adults who weren't going to go to college, weren't going to go to vocational school. And so we actually utilized the farm, those hoops you see there. We started installing things in what used to be an abandoned parking lot. And the people who graduated from that program were the first employees of Aero Farms. So, that's where the synergy is between the farm and what I think are the jobs of tomorrow.
It's interesting, Joe. You and I, you've also worked with us on our initiative called Right from the Start, NJ, which deals with the needs of infants and toddlers, and particularly in terms of childcare. But one of the other pieces that you and I talk about is quality of life. What is the connection between everything we're talking about regarding urban farming and quality of life for those in your community?
Sure. So, the children and the families that enter our early learning center every day, we look at that as being, they're not just there for childcare, for early education. They're
or
part of our community,
as a lot of people think.
And it's not babysitting, because that center prepares kids for kindergarten 100% in all ways possible. But what are the other things that affect their lives? Do they know their neighbors? Do they know their community? Do they feel part of their community? Our family success centers create opportunities for people to come together and unite. Down Bottom Farms is an opportunity for people to come into a farm, not only to learn about farming, and not only for kids to learn that eggs come from chickens, but for people to actually gather together and become a community.
It's interesting. One-on-one doesn't focus largely on social policy questions. That is for our other serious state of affairs and for Think Tank. But there are social equity questions, questions of fairness, questions of how people are being treated. These are big societal questions. Go ahead, Maria.
These are huge societal questions that our young people can answer, right? Our young people are we call it on the front lines of climate change, of police brutality, of gentrification. You know, they're seeing everything as their lives develop. And so when we're at the farm, we get to have those conversations, and then we get to organize our neighbors to come out to hearings, to come out to city council. You know, we're there to grow food, but we're also there to figure out how as a community we can defend ourselves and we can fight back and have self-determination.
Hold on a second. You use the phrase defend ourselves.
Yes,
From
defend
what and what
ourselves.
way, Joe?
Well, I think the first thing a community needs to do is to feel hope in the future. And they can only do that by knowing one another, by taking pride in their own neighborhood, and then thinking about what do they want for their community, not what does someone else want to impose in their community. It's the difference between having an incinerator imposed on you and us coming together, organized Riverfront Park. We
talk
led
real
the
quick, 30
development of
seconds.
Riverfront Park.
Riverfront Park, huge. For those of us born and raised in the city, we know how important that is. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I mean, that was a vision of the Ironbound community that was around for 25 years before Mayor Booker and County Executive DiVincenzo embraced it and partnered with us several years ago.
Took a lot of years to get it done.
Well, you know, that's why a community organization that's been around for 50 years is important. You're in the community, you stay with things, you keep pushing. It doesn't matter who's in office, they may change, but you keep pushing. And now Mayor Baraka is going to expand it to the entire riverfront. So we have, you know, something that really Newark can be proud of.
You know, it's so interesting. People have used the term community organizers, and sometimes it's a pejorative. We're not here to make political statements, but think about what community organizing is when it comes to this organization, Ironbound Community Corporation, the ICC, celebrating 50 years. Joe, Maria, congratulations.
Well, thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
for what you're doing, and God willing, you'll keep doing it.
Well, that's what we intend to do. Appreciate the opportunity
Well
to
done.
be here. Thank you.
I'm Steve Adubato, coming to you from NJTV Studios in Newark, the Agnes Varus NJTV Studios. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, TD Bank, the Turl Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, NJIT, PSCNG, the North Ward Center, and by the New Jersey Education Association. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Globe and by Tap Into TV. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.